Tililing. To have a loose screw or mentally deranged. This is the definition of Tililing. It is a derogatory Filipino term used to label the mentally ill in a country that already stigmatizes mental health. On February 8, the film entitled Tililing released a poster that was heavily criticized by the mental health community as distasteful due to its portrayal of the main characters, all of which have mental health issues, by the way, in a goofy manner. It garnered enough attention to the point that the Commission of Human Rights and Liza Soberano, Psychology Stan, both made statements criticizing the portrayal of these characters in the poster. Other mental health organizations, us included, also made statements calling Viva Films to change their poster and reassess their portrayal of the main cast and the film if necessary. Despite the backlash, the director of the film, Daryl Yap, stood his ground defending the portrayal, saying not to judge a book by its cover, and that the film aims to show how these depictions are so wrong in the first place, and that we should just wait for the film to be released before making judgment. By no means are we trying to bash this movie or discourage people from watching it. We simply feel it to be important that people continue to be well-informed and educated on mental health to prevent the fiction of the film being made into a reality in people's perceptions. In this episode, we intend to take a closer look at Tililing's depictions of psychological issues, clear away misconceptions about mental illness in the Philippines, and discuss the real-life situation of those who have such conditions. So, welcome to PsyPop, the new series where we tackle how pop culture, or something in pop culture, has displayed a phenomenon where we can learn from it in the context of psychology and mental health. If you like this new series and don't want to miss out on future episodes, don't forget to show us support by liking and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell icon somewhere to get a notification whenever we post a new video. So, why was the poster and the title so problematic in the first place? Let's look at the origins of the word first to fully grasp why. As mentioned, Tililing directly translated is to have a loose screw. Without the cultural context, you probably won't see what makes the word derogatory in the first place, but when a screw is loose on a door, for example, that thing with a loose screw becomes unhinged. The term tililing has been used in the same context in the Philippines to describe and discriminate people with mental illness. It has become a connotation that those people are unstable and dangerous. It is a clear misrepresentation of the people who are going through or have gone through mental illness, and the goofy presentation of the patients or actors in both the poster and the trailer only help to reaffirm those existing stereotypes. This stigma is likely the reason why the mental health situation in the Philippines isn't taken that seriously in the first place, and speaking of which, throughout the trailer it is shown that many of the patients are sent into what look like prison cells for confinement. They are likely for the sake of further doubling down on the over-the-top portrayals, appalling in their appearance, and they leave much to be desired, but putting aside the satirical depiction in the film, the unfortunate truth is that there's a lack of both facilities and personnel in the Philippines to care for the mentally ill. As of recording, according to the World Health Organization, the country possesses 2 full-fledged mental health hospitals with an occupancy rate of about 92%. 17% of the patients admitted to mental health hospitals are involuntary, whilst an estimated 48% of mental patients admitted to other facilities are also said to be involuntary. Furthermore, over 20% of patients in mental health hospitals were either secluded or restrained upon admission due to violent or uncontrollable behavior, while an estimated 11 to 20% of patients in the community-based psychiatric inpatient facilities were subjected to the same. 71% of psychiatry beds are also only found near or within large urban centers and cities, leaving rural areas lacking in mental health services and forcing many to resort to drastic and inhumane measures such as caging patients in order to contain them. Now for the recent portrayals from the film before release. As easy as it would be for me to nitpick everything else the film has produced, in truth, they aren't all the worst things ever made. On March 6th, the first teaser was released with respected actress Gina Pareno making a respectable performance as she does, just continually swearing, cursing, and distraught. It's an intriguing scene, leaving you in wonder of what caused this and what will happen next, as any good teaser should, and I am, in fact, very intrigued to find out, so good job. Teaser 2. This one was more of an attempt at a meme, which I guess is fine to get people interested in it. Also, it is a comedy, so I don't have much comments on my end. And finally, the trailer. It was released a week after the poster and 2 days before I started writing for this episode with my friends. So I gave this one a view to see how they would move forward despite the criticisms of the poster. And as I watched the trailer, the film looked like it was leading somewhere, to be fair. At first glance, they portray and show how inhumane the treatment of people with mental disorders has been for a long time, especially in sanitariums and asylums, as mentioned earlier in the video. They show how the nurses still wanted to show compassion to these people, and even with the funny faces and humor involved in the trailer, there were dark themes being hinted at to be explored throughout the film. And one more thing I should be elaborated on in defense of the film are the actual cast members of the film itself. They've been open about their own personal struggles with mental health as well, which would make sense as to why they signed up for the project in the first place. They perhaps wanted to give a helping hand, to spread awareness. And during the backlash of the film, these parties still stood their ground as well, stating that, just like Daryl Yap, that the film has a message that should be taught to the public. One could argue that they are professionals, so they would, of course, defend the project that they're working on. However, the sentiment should still be something to be taken into account nonetheless. In all these videos, I always add personal thoughts, and for mine, there are supposedly good intentions behind the film. However, as a fun fact, I was the one who made the statement word per word that PsyPoints posted in our Facebook page to address the film's poster. You can see everything I said word per word in our Facebook page itself. And to sum it up, I meant every word. So I'd rather not repeat those just to fill out time. Instead, what I will do is 1. Show you a redone poster of the film done by the Anxiety and Depression Support Philippines, or ADSP, which shows that you can present people with mental disorders and still do it tastefully. And second, I'll compile a list of psychological movie recommendations that I'll link below, which can help you understand mental health, psychology, or at least have themes relating to them while still being respectful. Now, we're not saying that these topics can't be discussed in film, nor be taught in more comedic lights, or that the film is doomed to failure. Maybe the film will be from the view of the nurses of the time, hence why they all look silly and scary. Or perhaps the film intends to make a statement on how the Philippines' perspective of people who struggle with mental disorders hasn't changed, so he presented it that way. We don't know anything yet because we have only seen a fraction of what the film has to offer, what it's about. What we do know is that the most recent portrayals have been in poor taste. We here in PsyPoints only wish all those involved in the making of Tililing prove everyone wrong and present a piece of media that is horrifying, comedic, impactful, and respectful. Thank you all for watching. Since this is a new series, please comment any topic you'd like us to tackle next. Also, yes, I did change the backdrop for this episode. Tell me what you think of it. Is it better than that super plain white one we have outside? Just let me know and I'll adjust accordingly if ever. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And for more of anything related to PsyPoints, you can follow us on our Instagram and our Facebook page as well. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.